This is my disc destroyer. It's a mean little machine with one job, testing grinding discs. With so many grinding discs and countless reviews, it's hard to separate fact from fiction. This is where the disc destroyer comes in. It cuts through the noise, delivering real results. No bias, no sponsorships, just cold hard tests. Grinding discs can face a lot of real-world challenges, like high and low pressures, hot and cold materials, and of course, fast and slow speeds. This machine tests it all, so that we can finally find the truth in the reviews. Today, I am testing the CGW Abrasives Type 29 flap disc coming in at $5.73. This disc has almost no discourse online. In my extensive research, I could only find one rating of this disc, and that review didn't leave any reasoning for their score. But that doesn't mean plenty of people aren't still buying this disc totally blind. So instead, I'll test this disc myself. I'll identify its strengths and weaknesses, so you know what you're buying. Let me break this down for you. Each disc will be grinding this test bar to see how much it can remove within 20 minutes time. This will chart out its story and tell us exactly how this disc behaves based on how much material it removes at any given point. But if the disc stops effectively grinding the bar or just straight up disintegrates, the test is over. Let's begin. First, I wanted to see how the disc would perform under pretty typical grinding conditions. I did this by emulating light pressure grinding with a 4-pound weight. This is roughly the weight of the grinder. So how did the disc hold up? In a little under 9.5 minutes, the disc began to smoke, effectively ending the test. When I checked the coupon, I saw 14 inches of material had been cut. These results are feeling more 5-star than 1-star, but I think I can get even more out of this disc. Next, I wanted to see how well the disc would do against a hot weld. To simulate this, I heated the first few inches of the coupon and kicked off my next test. And the results I got were very surprising. This time, the disc only lasted 7.5 minutes, 2 minutes less than before. It also cut half as much material. Differently, the disc did not smoke this time, but it did eventually stop making significant progress on the coupon, ending the test. Something is preventing this disc from really giving a 5-star performance. Now that we have data for pretty average grinding conditions, I wanted to switch up a major variable, the pressure. So I switched out the 4-pound weight for 8 and began my next experiment. This time the disc performed worse than ever. Though removal speeds were faster, the disc started smoking early, and the test ended in under 3.5 minutes. Despite the comparatively poor results, the heavy pressure showed promise of pushing this disc to 5-star performance. To really unlock this disc, I am going to want as much of a head start as possible to prolong smoking. So I once again heated up the first few inches of the coupon for my next test. Hopefully the hot metal will be soft enough for the disc to make a decent headway before it takes too much damage. And it seems my hypothesis was correct. This time the disc was able to push past previous tests in performance and durability. It was able to survive just under 10 minutes of grinding before it showed signs of slowing down. I also noticed a buildup of slag that actually caught fire once I stopped the test. Taking a look at the coupon revealed over 21 inches of material had been cut. So what's happening here? Looking at the discs after the tests paired with the data, it looks like friction plays a heavy role in determining performance. All tests so far have seen the disc nearing or even starting to smoke, indicating too much friction and excessive heat, which leads to premature wear. Despite the last test yielding the best results, I believe the heavy pressure is doing more harm than good. Another component here could also be the grind speeds. Higher speeds also generate more friction, which increases the temperature of the flap disc, which we saw in our first tests. So what if I dropped speeds and weight? Hopefully this will provide the disc with the best environment to not overheat, giving me performance worth 5 stars. So I put back my 4-pound weight and this time decreased the speeds from 11,000 RPMs to 6,000. And this is where the disc began to really take off. This time the disc lasted the entire 20-minute test, cutting 22 inches of material. This is a vast improvement over the previous tests. To really squeeze the most out of this disc, I once again heated up the first few inches of the coupon, expecting the softer metal to help the disc cut even more. And I was right, once again lasting all 20 minutes of the test and cutting 23 inches of material. By reducing the speeds, I was able to decrease heat buildup, minimize abrasive wear, and ensure a more controlled grinding action, all of which contributed to a longer lasting flap disc. So how can you get a 5-star performance out of this disc? For best results, grind at lower speeds and with a light amount of pressure. This will prevent overheating and glazing, while also cutting an impressive amount of material. If possible, avoid using too much pressure or grinding at high speeds. Now that you know how to get the most out of this disc, it's up to you to decide if these results are worth the $5.73 price tag. If you'd like to see the data I've collected for this disc, as well as the other discs in these tests, I've posted them at the Fireball forum, linked in the description. I'm going to keep posting more and more of these test videos, so stay tuned to find the truth in the reviews. And if you're wondering why I built the rig the way I did, how it works, and what it's all about, I have a video that goes into great detail that you should check out. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.